CNN's Kara Scannell and defense attorney Misty Marris are live outside the courtroom, and they join us now live. Kara, first to you, walk us through the big moments from Kid Cudi.
So Kid Cudi testified about three central moments in his experience and interactions with Sean Combs. One of them was this break-in. He said that Cassie Ventura had called him saying that she sounded stressed, and so he picked her up as she asked. And then he said that they got a phone call from a friend who said that Sean Combs was at his house. So Kid Cudi said he got in his car and was driving to the home and had called Combs. And this is part of the exchange. He said to Combs, "You in my house?" Combs said, "What's up?" Cudi said, "Are you in my house?" Combs said, "I just want to talk to you." Cudi said, "I'm on my way. I'll be right down." Combs said, "I'm over here waiting for you." And Cudi said when he arrived at his home, Combs was not there, but he said a security camera was moved. He said when he went inside his home, there were some Christmas gifts for family members that had been unwrapped, and his dog, who normally had free reign of the house, was behind a door in the bathroom. He said it left his dog jittery and on edge. And this happened because Ventura told Cudi that Combs had just found out that she was in a relationship and dating Cudi at the time. Then Cudi then went to Ventura's family's home for Christmas, but he said that in the beginning of the new year, in January of 2012, they stopped speaking to each other and they had broken up. It was then after that that Cudi said he was at someone else's house and he received a call from his dog's babysitter who said that his Porsche was on fire. So Cudi again got in his car, was driving back to his home, and he said that he arrived and found that the fabric roof of his Porsche had been slashed, that there was a Molotov cocktail that had been thrown in there, and that there was smoke damage on the car door and on the driver's seat. And the jury was shown photographs of that damage that Cudi's friend had taken when he got to the car before Cudi got there. Then Cudi said that there was no evidence. He was asked by Combs' lawyers if Combs was there, any accomplices of his were there. He said there wasn't. But then the next day, Cudi said he reached out to Combs to meet up because Combs had been wanting to speak to him. And because of the fire of this car, he said he reached out to him and they had a meeting at the Soho House in Hollywood. Now, Cudi testified when he walked in, Combs was standing in a room that had a window looking out onto Beverly Hills. He said Combs was standing, staring out the window with his hands behind his back like a Marvel supervillain. That elicited laughs from the jury. And they had a discussion there. They discussed both Cassie Ventura, that they had both been dating her. And Cudi said when the meeting was over, he shook Combs' hand and said, "Well, what about my car?" And Combs said, "I don't know what we were talking about." Cudi told the jury he thought Combs was lying.
And Misty, we're also, I should note, seeing testimony that is being heard right now from a former makeup artist of Combs and Ventura's, who said that she saw Ventura with injuries on her face once around a Grammy weekend in 2021. To Kid Cudi's testimony, Misty, what part of the prosecution's case is his testimony key to?
Well, we were really waiting for this testimony because, remember, Combs is charged with RICO, and RICO requires, that's a racketeering conspiracy, it requires identifying what the underlying crimes are, that Combs and his co-conspirators committed crimes in furtherance of a criminal enterprise. Now, one of those crimes that's listed in the indictment is arson. So we were waiting during Kid Cudi's testimony. We got a preview of what we believed he would say from Cassie Ventura's civil lawsuit relating to this Molotov cocktail in the car. So it's important to note that the prosecutors do not have to prove that the arson incident occurred beyond a reasonable doubt or prove that it was Diddy beyond a reasonable doubt. All they need to do is show the jury and have the jury believe that Combs and his co-conspirators were involved in that incident and it was part of a bigger pattern of conduct relating to the criminal enterprise. So his testimony regarding that Molotov cocktail, that he believed it to be Combs, referencing the break into his home that happened prior, all speaks to that pattern. Now, I will say, as Kara laid out, the defense did some damage on cross-examination because there was no direct evidence that Combs was involved. There was never an arrest, there was never a prosecution relating to that incident, and Cudi did say that he never actually saw who did it and he never had any direct information. He just believed it to be Combs because he thought Combs was, quote, violent. So the testimony really got what the prosecutors needed with respect to that arson incident for the underlying crime, but the defense was able to really cut away and maybe put some doubt on that Combs was actually involved in that incident.
Misty Marris, Scannell, thank you both with an update from the courtroom as we're learning.